This is a K2 Storm Tracker weather alert.
It's very dynamic, right? The fire, and it's changing, I wouldn't say all the time, but pretty rapidly, and at a moment's notice, you know, a level 1 could go up to level 2 or level 3.
Now at 6, a fast-moving fire in central Oregon threatening hundreds of homes. The Cram Fire spurring evacuation notices around Jefferson and Wasco counties. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Reich Yazaway.
And I'm Deborah Knapp. K2's Vasily Varlamos is tracking the fire for us in Salem. And Vasily, a Christian summer camp near the fire evacuated campers.
Yes, Deb, about 580 campers and staff members had to leave the Washington Family Ranch Young Life Camp in Antelope, Oregon, due to the proximity of the fire. The Cram Fire in Central Oregon is threatening homes and canceling plans. The Washington Family Ranch Young Life Camp in Antelope, Oregon, evacuating hundreds of guests.
We wanted to really focus on safety of everybody, including our camp staff, and that if conditions changed and we needed to evacuate suddenly, we'd be able to do that.
The camp is under a level 2 evacuation notice, meaning the camp evacuation was not required, but NIPS says out of an abundance of caution, they decided to pull the plug on that session of camp. NIPS says a high school camp was underway, a middle school camp was about to begin. Carrie Grenier, a mom of one of the middle schoolers, says the kids found out about the cancellation the night before they were supposed to leave for camp.
All bags were packed, kids were ready to go to bed, someone was already in bed, and we just got a text later that night.
Carrie and other moms of campers who missed out on their session tried to make the best of it for the girls, and the donations came flying in. A family donated their house on the water, others gave the girls access to personal boats, a small business even offering them free items, and a water park offering free admission for the day.
It's really nice for the community to come together for my girls. And I know that there's going to be future groups that are going to need that support.
Now, a Lincoln City Young Life group that had to evacuate said the evacuation was well planned, and the person I spoke to thanked staff members for that well-planned evacuation. Now, live in Salem, Vasily Varlamos, K2 News.
Vasily, thank you. Since starting Sunday evening, the Cram Fire has burned more than 64,000 acres. It remains uncontained. So here's a look at the evacuation zones tonight. Large portion of northeastern Jefferson County still under a level 3 evacuation, with evacuations also put in place in part of Wasco County. Officials tell us about 300 homes are in the level 3 evacuation zone. Another 430 structures are also threatened.
Governor Kotek has declared a state of emergency over wildfire danger through the end of the year. Comes as the state has already seen 6 wildfire conflagrations so far. She says we need to be prepared for worsening conditions as the summer gets hotter, drier, and more dangerous. The move allows fire responders to use all necessary and appropriate resources of the state to support wildfire response.
Forecasters have warned this year's fire season could be on par with last year's record-setting season. More than 1.9 million acres burned across Oregon last year, up significantly from the 10-year average of 640,000 acres per season. There were 17 wildfire conflagrations last year, and as we mentioned, we've had 6 so far this year. Wildfires have scorched more than 54,500 acres. There are 56 fires actively burning right now.
Taking a live look now across the region tonight, we remain under a Storm Tracker 2 weather alert. A heat advisory remains in place until later tonight for the Willamette Valley, parts of the Gorge and southwest Washington. A red flag warning is now set to take effect tomorrow across portions of central and eastern Oregon, as well as south central Washington.
We have team coverage tonight. K2's Allison Gottlieb has been speaking with the Metro Council about a project to help residents living in one of the hottest parts of the city. But first, let's go to Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Dave Selesky for the latest on how conditions are developing.
Yeah, hot weather out there again today. A little bit cooler for tomorrow, but not all that much cooler. And again, 97 degrees, our high temperature today. That is the hottest temperature so far in Portland for the year. 97 as well in Troutdale. That number you see out at Corbett is obviously erroneous. You get down into the Beaverton area, 98, 95 in Tigard, 96 for Aurora, also 96 over in Hillsborough. Currently here in the Portland area, we're down 1 degree from our high. We're now sitting at 96 degrees again under sun-filled skies. And of course, our camera up on top of Big Pink. In the meantime, here the watches warning. So up until 10 o'clock tonight, we do have our heat advisory in place all the way up and down the entire length of the Willamette Valley, parts of the Gorge, parts of southwestern Washington. Red flag warning up, high fire danger for central Oregon, up into the Columbia Basin and the Gorge as well. This will stay in effect likely now until Friday. And the gray area you see, that is our air quality alert because the smoke from those wildfires is causing problems with air quality in parts of central and also in parts of southern Oregon. That will come to an end late this evening. So, central Oregon, here's the latest we have on the fire danger. Hot and dry conditions will continue. West winds tomorrow about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Not all that bad, but again, firefighters don't need any wind. Warm temperatures continue, very low humidity, dry skies as well. Cooler temperatures will be arriving this weekend, but again, even there, daytime highs this weekend on the east side of the Cascades will be in the low to mid 80s. We'll have our own local forecast in a few minutes. Back over to you guys.
Dave, thank you. Today marks the hottest day of the year so far, and one place looking for some relief is 82nd Avenue. Southeast 82nd is one of the hottest areas in the city. Metro Council is starting a project to help residents in that area.
K2's Allison Gottlieb is live with the story. And Allison, you spoke to a Metro councilor today. What they had to say about cooling 82nd Avenue?
Yeah, they said they are looking into multiple cooling solutions, so whether that be adding trees, adding shade to bus stops, or even adding cooling units.
Addressing the hottest areas of Portland. That's what the Metro Council is trying to do with their Cooling Corridor project. The project studies the impacts of climate change and longer periods of extreme heat. That data will help identify solutions which can guide future policy and investment decisions in Portland, as well as around 82nd Avenue, which is one of the hottest areas in the city. Duncan Guang is a Metro councilor who lives near 82nd. He says he wants to be able to walk his dog around the area and feel more comfortable in the heat.
You know, we're adding more trees, we're looking at more parks, we're looking at adding new construction, especially for affordable housing. They'll have cooling units, included. Working at like how to create more shade for bus lines, how to have more permeable surfaces on our streets. So it's a multi-pronged approach. There's no like one thing that's going to address the heat island impact, but it's many different interventions working together.
K2 spoke to Andre Lightsey Walker, who says he was a part of the research to find solutions. Here's what he had to say.
There's some that are natural methods, like connecting people to rivers and other water bodies, planting trees, but also things that are sort of more human-oriented, where it's like putting air conditioning units in homes and just educating people about ways they can keep cool.
Next week, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency will visit Portland to talk about ways to keep the city cool. Councilor Guang says the agency will bring solutions to Portland that have worked in other cities. They'll also identify strategies that have worked here and see if they can be implemented in other parts of the country.
There will be a big community forum next week on Tuesday, July 22nd at 5:30. It's going to happen at Dharma Rain Zen Center, and that will bring the community, EPA experts, and local and regional organizations together to discuss the heat issues. Live in Northeast Portland, Allison Gottlieb, K2 News.
Allison, thank you. This heat can cause a number of heat-related illnesses if you're not careful, and two of those include heat stroke and heat exhaustion. The two are not the same. So here's a look what to watch out for. The CDC says symptoms of heat exhaustion include dizziness, thirst, muscle cramps, nausea. People suffering from heat stroke show confusion, have decreased sweating, but hot and flushed skin may become unconscious. In both cases, you need to try to cool the person down. If you think somebody has had a heat stroke, call 911 immediately. Heat stroke can cause death or permanent disability.
We want to hear from you tonight. Scan the QR code on the screen with your phone to weigh in. Tonight we're asking, how do you cool your home? I have central AC, I use a heat pump swamp cooler, I use a window or standing AC unit, or I do not have a cooling system. Keep it live with K2 for continuing coverage of this heat wave throughout the newscast and throughout the night. When we're not on air, you can get the latest on conditions where you live right at your fingertips with the K2 weather app.